Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
If you've ever thought, wow, it would be great to live next to a major celebrity like Kat from the Playhouse, wouldn't it be just so exciting to live in her neighborhood and see all the hijinks that would happen with her family? The answer is no. Hell no is the answer. And
There's
you guys have
a lot of drama.
I don't have a community Facebook page for my little community that I live in.
I thought you had the next door.
But the next door app is like, it's half the city. And I can't do it. It's so much. Hey, missing cat. Hey, missing dog. Did a guy come to your door today? Yes, he dropped off on Amazon. I mean, it's just, it's exhausting. But if my community had a Facebook page that was this juicy, I would definitely participate in this discussion.
This
now,
one's pretty.
What's the latest in your hood, Kat?
Well, last week it was the drama of should we have Halloween on Monday or pick it to be on Friday or Saturday.
It should always be on a Saturday, but I get why some people are turned off by this.
But it falls on a Monday, and the overall consensus from everybody was that we're going to keep it on a Monday. Then a day later, somebody posts, "Holy cow, let your damn dogs inside or give them some attention." There are a couple of dogs that are like terrorizing the neighborhood.
How so? They're eating little kids?
No, they are barking all day, every
How could you even live there?
It's a lot. It really is. And then this one, the latest post was about people that have been, and they're new. Like my development adds like 3 or 4 new houses every 7 days. It's crazy. And so that means new neighbors come in, and it's kind of weird because they think that their dogs don't have to be on a leash to walk around the neighborhood. And I would say every other house has 1 or 2 dogs. Obviously, ours does not. But somebody had posted, and somebody that works with the city said that we've been made aware of multiple people walking their dogs without leashes or electronic collars. So now the city has been made aware of this. And now, due to city ordinance number 808, you will be mailed a fine if you are busted.
How do they know it's your dog?
They'll follow it back to the residents.
They will not. Listen,
yeah, they have been on patrol. There have been.
There is increased police presence in your neighborhood because a dog is off the leash.
Yeah.
Now imagine being a cop. You go to school. You got to put the bulletproof vest on every morning. You kiss your husband or wife goodbye and you say, "Hey, I hope I come home for dinner tonight." To realize you're going to go serve and protect the community and chase a dog down to give a fine to a family.
The thing is, the people are walking with their dogs and consciously unhook them from their leash, which I have seen firsthand. And I think it's very weird. It's like we have children, so many children in our development.
And there used to be a lot more before these dogs started eating all of them, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So we need to make sure that
you guys just look for problems.
Why do you act like I posted this?
I can guarantee you're a part of this.
I am not.
I can guarantee. My son was practicing basketball in the driveway and a dog ran past him.
No, but I would.
I need to be. Somebody needs to be punished for this.
I would definitely rage and vague book for sure. I would say, and I have wanted to vague book about, there's like this orange boxy car, and it's the only one that exists in our neighborhood that this kid does, no joke, I don't know, maybe 90 miles an hour for 500 yards.
Listen to yourself,
and I'm like,
Karen.
What is wrong with you? I didn't post, but I wanted to do something like that. Like, hey, if you own an orange car that is shaped like a box.
This is bigger than posting now. You just talked about it in front of everybody.
He's not listening. I hear what he listens to. Blasting
Nobody in orange cars listens to us.
He's that kind of kid.
Does he have the muffler that goes?
No, it's like this little like lame car, but then he's blasting this hardcore like EDM and screamo. You know, like. I'm like, you're such a poser.
Are you listening to yourself? You in a hot minute, you bought a new house and turned into your mom.
I'm just saying. Like, people need to be conscious, and this is specifically for, and proves my point, that dog owners are some of the most selfish people on the planet. Like, why would you think that your dog is above any other law and you don't have to keep it leashed? It is a city ordinance. You have to. And they just like, not me, not my dog. My dog doesn't have real teeth. He could never break flesh.
And that's another reason as you're thinking about moving, would never want to live by Kat, and what they're now referring to as the cul-de-sac of Karens.
That was actually one thing that was said about her. Isn't that horrible? Kim K. Her butt looks great. Yes, a lot of work has been done to it. I'm sure a lot of sculpting, but she's sharing why it's easier after 15 plus years to handle all of the criticism and noise.
It has gotten easier because I think you just get to a level where you see that so much of it is noise, and we have each other, we have us as a support system. I couldn't do it without my family. When there's, maybe a little too much noise, everyone's there just to be like, okay, we know what's real. This doesn't matter.
There you go. New season drops. What did I say? Tomorrow night on Hulu. Very exciting stuff. All right, Kaley Cuoco. She has just gotten divorced from her second husband, and now she has found a new love in Tom Pelphrey, and she talks about how she first saw him.
So I got all dressed up, and I was standing there, and I was at the bathroom, and I was waiting, and I hear this voice. It was Tom, and he's like, "Where's this Kaley?" And I was like, "Where's this Kaley?" And I turned around, it was Tom, and it was like, oh, it was like love at first sight. That was the world stopped.
All right, so do you know this guy? Do you watch Ozark?
No. Well,
yeah, you did.
I watched it. I haven't. Yeah, I did watch the whole thing now. I kind of
It's
forgot
the brother
that I
of
watched
Wendy Bird, who...
The brother, yeah, and then he ends up...
she has him killed.
Yeah, she has him killed. You're right.
Yeah, unless you haven't seen it, and then that didn't happen,
Sorry.
and you're going to love it. Anyway, so that's him. So maybe her third husband.
Oh, he's
You
a pretty
never
good-looking
know.
guy.
He is a good-looking guy. So on her podcast, Just a Little Shady, Eminem's 26-year-old daughter, Haley, she's just talking about, I don't always love when people ask about my dad.
The best way to say this is yes and no. I obviously expect it, and there are certain things I can understand why people are just genuinely curious about. Once it gets past that point, though, I'm like, I'm a person too.
Totally.
I think I have more to offer than just my dad.
I love how she's like, please, I need this separation. Check out my podcast, Just a Little Shady. It's
Where
not
my
about
dad's
being
going to be
Eminem's
making a
dad.
special appearance.
When my podcast numbers get low, I won't call in
My dad will be debuting
father.
his new record on my podcast, but I really don't want to talk about him.
You're so funny. All right, blowing out their candles today, we have Dance Mom star Abby Lee Miller, 57.
She's the really obnoxious one that everybody knows about, right?
She is, yeah. All right, so NASA, they captured a very ominous sound. This is what it sounds like when meteoroids, they hit the surface of Mars. Bloop. I cannot wait to live there.
It'll be
can't wait.
long past you and your kids' lives.
Thank God. All right. Many viewers found it very creepy, and as did I. I listened to it a few times. All right. So this is where Queen Elizabeth, the funeral procession is happening, and there's a woman. They don't know where she came from or where this audio came from, but heard whispering this.
A lot of people say this is the voice
Of Princess Diana.
Death is irreversible, and the fact that she's
As you can see, here in London, it is a lovely day, and as the hearse heads out,
So if you hear him, hold on. When she says this, he stops in his tracks.
death is irreversible, and the fact that she's
as you can see, here in London, it is a lovely day, and as the
Death
hearse
is irreversible.
And the fact that she is trapped is what it says. How creepy is that? They literally have no idea where this voice came from because nobody else was on the broadcast of this
Obviously,
guy.
the microphone picked it up somebody, but still, what if
death
it
is
was
irreversible.
Princess Di?
Didn't it sound like her little meek voice?
Well, yeah, I know her so well, and it sounds
Yeah.
amazingly like her. If your husband, if he wouldn't have quit chewing, would have that been the end?
Okay. So kind of it would have been, but
You
that
made him
was a
change for you,
battle.
huh?
I changed for him first. I was a smoker when
You gave
I
it up for
hired
him, not for your own health.
Yes, that is true. If I wasn't with him, I would have kept smoking for sure.
Really?
Who knows for how long?
Did he tell you that you had to quit?
No, he didn't. It was
You took it upon yourself to think that I may lose him if I keep smoking because he hates it so much?
yeah. Despite all the mornings of me walking in here and you completely berating me, you
I just didn't want to
reek.
see you die early. Like, I don't want to do the show alone.
And so, yeah, I remember the point where I was like, I am gonna give this up for him because he doesn't want to taste that when we kiss. You know what I mean? And so I gave that up. But I was talking to a mom at football, and she has the most beautiful nails. And you know me with my collagen, with my biotin, I'm always trying to look for ways to make my nails strong and healthy. And right now they look pretty good. But she was saying that, excuse me, hers used to look like,
pretty ratchet.
Yeah, you'd bite it down and they'd bleed, And
that's a thing.
Yeah, and then she'd bite all around her cuticles, and so those were all ratchety. And so she met her now husband. They've been together for like 15 years, but she goes, he said, if I don't stop that, it grossed him out so badly that he couldn't bring himself to sit there on a couch with me and watch movies and just listen to me go to town on my nails.
That relationship would be over if she didn't quit biting her nails.
They wouldn't have their 3 beautiful kids all because she wanted to gnaw on her hands.
That seems extreme.
How weird is that? Did you have to give up anything for Trisha? No, she gave up her life.
No, yeah. You know what I did give up a lot of, though? Like, I quit hanging out in, like, seedy pool halls and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like, that was a good source of income, and she didn't want me getting shot or getting beat up or my thumb's broken, and she actually cares about me a little bit.
Yeah.
But I did quit that. And that was even before we had kids. You know what I mean? I quit doing the only time I would ever go and really try and make some money was like if she'd be spending the weekend at her parents' house or she'd have to go to a baby shower or something like that. I'd sneak out and try and make a couple of bucks. But other than that,
so you didn't care what you said?
Well, no, I did. It was just, that was a hard habit to break, man. Like, I really liked that environment. I did. I liked hanging out with, like a small tumbler of whiskey and trying to figure out how to beat somebody for money. Like, that was, there was probably a slight addiction there. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the competition. I enjoyed the risk of losing a whole bunch of money if my stuff wasn't on point. I really dug that.
That
just even
horrible.
Talking about it right now, like I got.
Yeah, why are you smiling?
I got a little bit of a vibe going right now. Like I really genuinely would love to get back into it if it wasn't dangerous.
I think if you give up something that you love for somebody, that's the ultimate sacrifice. That's like, listen, I love this more than anything, but I love you more than that. I think that that's a big thing. So
if she'd have said I have to give up baseball, I wouldn't be married with 3 kids.
What would that mean, though?
Like if I couldn't go to games and I couldn't coach and I couldn't be around the game. Yeah,
what kind of woman would do that?
I don't like her that much. A lot of us, when we enter a relationship, there's a give and take, right? And if the give is you've got to give up something that you would consider a vice, like your friend has to give up or had to give up chewing on her fingernails because her husband says, I just can't go on with this. And you're like, that's got to be a very extreme situation, right?
Some people would look at it if you don't have an addiction to biting your nails as like, you're going to lose out on maybe the love of your life because you're not willing to keep your hands out of your mouth. But
still, who leaves a relationship because they can't stop biting their nails?
Well, who leaves somebody else?
Yeah, like that dude, like you don't love her very much.
Well, it grosses them out if watching them constantly have their fingers in their mouth like this and like blood everywhere.
Don't you learn to live with that if you love someone?
I don't know. I knew that I didn't want Derek to have to live with the cigarette smoke on me. So, I mean, I quit. How long have we been together? Like a million years. So I quit almost a decade and a half ago. Best choice of my life, obviously. And so we're wondering if you've ever had to give up anything. His whole thing was he was into chew. And that was like his only vice. He is been sober for almost 2 decades, and so.
I think that's common though, too. I think when people get sober, I think it's a very common thing that you pick up another vice, whether it's smoking, whether it's chewing, whether it's whatever. So, I mean,
I knew when he would go back into the chew world because he would not eat as many sunflower seeds. And so when he was
got
not
an oral
chewing,
fixation, doesn't he?
So if he wasn't chewing, then he would be eating a lot of sunflower seeds, which, of course, I would rather have him eat sunflower seeds. And my whole thing was just don't lie to me. Don't lie to me and tell me you're done. And I remember one time.
Half the fun was him trying to get it under your radar.
I hope not. Because that's kind of weird.
I think it's very common that people want to try and sneak something past somebody.
But one day you were like, listen, I don't want to get in the middle of things, but I see that there is a chew tin in. And listen, you were being a good friend and you didn't want him to continue with it.
I knew, listen, I hated when I chewed when I was playing ball a lot.
Yeah.
And looking back now, I'm like, that was it's a gross, nasty thing.
Yeah.
Have a big chaw. And it was just like, and I know he was doing like snuff, right? Like, so it was just in the lip. But like, we used to take plug and take the big bite out of it and just
yuck.
And it dripped down your chin. You'd have stains on your shirt. And it was just, I look back now and it was gross.
It took a turn because when I was down at the Mayo and we had met a doctor that had just done tongue surgery where he had to take the skin from this guy's forearm, put it on his tongue, and the advice was to this guy, like, listen, you're going to have to shave your tongue because this skin is going to continue to grow hair. And it was because he chewed and he had tongue cancer from the tobacco. And I went home and I remember telling Derek the story and I'm like, why isn't this affecting you? You want a hair tongue? What? I'm not kissing you with a hair tongue.
I'm a genie in a bottle.
I grant you one wish. Choose wisely.
A few weeks ago, we found in the studio, and you know our radio station's been around forever. We found this lamp, and Kat rubbed it, and the genie popped out. And we're into granting wishes here in the Playhouse. Kind of, not really. And the genie said, here are the rules. I will grant you one wish, but it cannot be wealth, health, immortality, or more wishes. So we've got a few wishes to give this morning. You can call us at 251-1047 and tell us what your wish is. And there's got to be a pretty good story to go with it. Kat, you always get the honors of starting.
Okay.
What's your wish this morning? Remember, it cannot be health, wealth, immortality, or more wishes. You only get one wish from the Playhouse Genie, and today it is?
I would say the ability to throw a short ball, like in football. Last night I had to help with drills.
You can't throw a 5-yard pass?
It was so embarrassing. I felt like crawling into a hole. I had 10-year-olds. Okay, so I threw one, and I look over at my son, and he just shut his eyes. He couldn't even believe how, like, I just did not know how to do it.
All
like
these kids are clowning you now?
I could throw a spiral 100 yards. I could and hit him. Absolutely. I do it all practice. But the ones where I'm like 9 feet away and I have to throw it at their feet and they got to catch it, or I got to throw it over the right shoulder and they got to grab it. Like, I couldn't do it. People were moving from my line over to the other coach's line. And Liam only stayed in my line because he's my son. And he was like, Mom, please give them better passes. I go, buddy, I'm trying. But that was like the first time that I really like stood up in 5 days. And I was sweating. And then I felt the pressure of these 10-year-olds. And I know they're talking about me at lunch today. I know it. And so if I had the ability from this genie to throw short ball, I'd be able to do it. That would be great.
Mine has a little bit more to do with the well-being of others.
Okay.
I'm going to share mine if you want to share yours. The genie popped out. You get one wish today in the Playhouse. Can't be wealth, health, immortality, or more wishes. What would your one wish be?
I'm a genie in a bottle.
I grant you one wish. Choose wisely.
We were putting new carpet in the studio a few weeks ago, and we dug up the floorboards, and there was this lamp. Kat started rubbing it. She's like, I'm like, nothing ever pops out of these. And the genie popped out. I thought this was like just a Disney thing. And our genie said, I'll show up every once in a while to grant your listeners wishes.
Yeah.
But there's some criteria. It can't be for health, wealth, immortality, or more wishes. So Kat, getting the first wish today, decided to wish for what most people would wish for. The ability to throw a short pass in football.
Right. I look at it as selfless because it's going to be helping other kids.
No. If you wouldn't have been embarrassed and clowned by a bunch of 10-year-olds yesterday, you wouldn't have wished for this.
I've never felt like that before, where I was literally like made fun of by kids that learned how to use the bathroom 8 years ago.
And 10-years have no chill. They go deep. That wound cuts, and then they throw the salt and the gas on it.
They said, like, oh, your mom's sus, man. And poor Liam was like, before my throws were bussin', and now I'm sus. Like, you don't turn on people that volunteer their time for youth football. Get out of my face with
They don't
that.
have a history. Those kids, their history starts over every morning, and you have to impress them now today.
That's so true.
They don't, and whatever. And now that they're clowning you, poor Liam.
I'm not even head coach, so I still had to pay for his football. So I'm there voluntarily, still a bit ill, and they're using those words to describe me. So.
Natasha, our genie, has said that he'd like to at least hear what your wish is before we decide to grant it. What's your wish? Again, it can't be health, wealth, immortality, or more wishes. If you had one wish today, it would be for
a night of silence.
A night
okay,
of silence.
And let me explain.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, I am a single mother. I don't know. You guys probably remember me. I called in a couple weeks ago. I have older kids, and then I have my 2-year-old, and I have grandchildren that are
I remember
7 months. Yeah. Okay, so all my older kids are away. I'm just me and my toddler. I work full time. I never get a break other than work, and I don't consider that a break because I just go home and work all over again.
Yeah.
And I just want one night, not even to go out, just a silence.
Is there any way that you can make that happen for yourself? Or will it just never happen?
So why don't you drop your kid off at Kat's house? They got a bunch of Karens running around there. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Why don't you do what all the other normal parents do that post on Facebook? Hey, I'm not going to be home between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. Can anyone watch my kid? Oh, my God. Those kill me.
No.
Well, I hope it happens for you. I hope that
if you do get that time away, would you feel guilty that you're not with your little guy? Or is it you have a son or a daughter? I'm sorry.
I do. I have a son.
Okay, well, do you feel guilty
even
then?
Last time I went in April, I went to Duluth in April for just the day, and I felt so bad. I missed him as soon as I was gone, but I need it so bad.
Yeah.
So you want to be around him so much, but yet it's driving you insane.
You said it best.
That's the guilt that society puts on us. Isn't that disgusting? Like, if we leave for 20 hours, then we're like, our kid's never going to remember our face. Like, he'll forget everything that I've ever done for him. Go do this for yourself. Make it happen.
Lord knows I'm going to try.
All right, we're going to set.
Don't feel bad. I can't throw either.
Oh, no, I can throw. That's the thing. Like,
No,
it's
you
weird.
can't.
I have an amazing arm. I have an amazing spiral, but it's the short ball that got me all tripped up yesterday. I didn't even know I couldn't throw it. So,
yeah, and you thought you had problems, Natasha. All right, have a great morning. Thanks for checking in, and we hope our genie grants your wish. Can I throw mine out there real quick, because I think mine has to do with our entire listening audience. Mine has to do with much of the world. I'm looking to make this a better place.
Yeah.
If I could have the wish from the genie this morning. You'll probably get it. I probably won't. Maybe Natasha will.
My wish is that you stop coughing, because it is so annoying. It is driving me crazy.
You don't get 2 wishes. You greedy little
I'll save it for next week, because I'm sure you'll still be coughing.
I want one more month of summer every year.
Oh, my God.
No. Hear me out.
Why can't you love fall like everybody else?
It's not that I don't love fall. I just have such a disdain for winter. All right? Now, I don't mind. I just want to push it all back. I want it to be October 22nd when it starts getting fall.
Okay.
And then I want to bring back spring a little bit earlier, too. I don't want it to be May before it gets nice out again. I want it to be April. I want everything to melt in March and be a little soggy, and then I want April to be sunny, T-shirt and shorts weather. Mm-hmm. I don't want that to be May. I will die in a warm place where I don't have to worry about snow blowing, dying because your car stalls out on the road, and having to bundle up all the time.
All right, so nothing says rap better than a gray-haired Senate candidate from the state of Utah. This is Linda Paulson, and she's setting herself apart from other candidates. And by that, I mean no other candidates are running for the seat she's going after.
She's running.
So she's running against herself. The only person. So why would you pay money for an ad like this? But it's gold.
Hey, Utah District 12, listen up right here. There's a new name on the ballot for the Senate this year.
My name is Linda Paulson, Republican and awesome. Love God and family and the Constitution. I tried to get another conservative to run.
Nope.
Nobody could do it, so I'm getting it done. I'm pro-religious freedom, pro-life, pro-police, the right to bear arms and the right to free speech. District 12 needs a choice. Let me be your voice, Linda Paulson. Linda Paulson for Senate.
This is what happens when you let your 20-year-old grandchild help you run your campaign. They're like, Grandma, this is going to go viral. You have to rap.
You got to give her a little credit for doing it.
She does
though,
this
right?
at the end.
Yeah, she's got the B-boy
arms
stance.
Go back to back. Or
What's her name?
Linda Paulson.
Right, you remember. It worked. Yeah.
Let's begin now.
The perfect way to start Wednesday is to winning up to $5,000. And yes, we can make that happen coming up in just 30 minutes in the KCLD Playhouse. Morning, Kat. How we feeling?
Hi, I am, I would say 95%.
Turn the corner, huh?
Yeah, we got that 5% lingering, but overall, pretty good. Lost 9 pounds since Thursday. So we got an upside to whatever went through my body, but yeah, that's about it.
It ripped through me and then you, and then now everybody's good. So today's going to be a fun day. Yesterday, I know you took the day off to get well. I was at a radio conference, and I have to tell you the most amazing story.
Okay.
So I walk in Monday, get done with the show here, boom, 100 miles an hour up to Alexandria. Don't even check into my room yet. Just walk into the conference, and I slide in the back. So nobody really sees or hears me, right? Like I'm trying to just be under the radar.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm trying to listen to this guy talking about some of the software we use. And next to me is an older gentleman. Now, there are people from all over the area at this radio conference, so I recognize a few people and I do the head nod. Hey.
Yeah.
This guy next to me, don't know him. He's got to be 75. I'm like, got to probably work on one of our news talk radio stations, right? And I see him holding a tablet, like he's got like an iPad.
Yeah.
And he's turned away from me though, and he keeps turning away from me, so I can't see.
He's playing solitaire.
What he's doing on his iPad. And I'm like, what could be so secretive, right? And I get up and I kind of stretch and I walk back and I go grab a cup of coffee from the back table in the back where there's refreshments. This guy is playing Slot Mania.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's not paying any attention. And so in my head, I go, this guy's my spirit animal. He cares less than I do. And I'm like, I haven't met anybody that cares less than I do about this dumb business we're in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to meet this guy. I got to wait till there's a break. I got to shake his hand. I got to see what this guy, what makes this guy tick. So you can tell the guy's wrapping up his presentation. About 10 seconds before he wraps up his presentation, the guy shuts his iPad and leaves.
I'm not getting caught.
He's gone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on with this guy? So I started asking around, hey, did you guys see that old guy in the back that cares less than me? Like, what's his deal? And he was, towards the end, it was a blatant disregard for not caring about what was being talked about.
Yeah.
He had just had it on and it was up so everybody could see it. He's just pressing max bet, max bet, max bet. It's the slots over and over again.
Yeah.
He couldn't care less what was happening. The guy that was doing the presentation, it was his dad.
Oh.
He didn't work for any of our radio stations.
Hey, Dad, I got a gig in Minnesota. You're going to love it.
He goes, we're going to be staying up in Arrowwood. There's a nice lake there. You want to come travel with me? The old man goes, sure as hell.
Yeah.
I was so impressed by the amount of F's this guy had not to give.
Yeah.
We've got email. We've got email. Got email. Got email. We've got email.
Got an email from Melissa, and I'm like, let's do it because it's very topical, and I think time is of the essence here. And she says, I'm fighting with another mom. At the beginning of the school year, this mom asked me to drive her son to school because he's friends with my son, and she starts work early. I accepted without realizing that I'd have to drive across town to get her son and then head back towards my house for school. The mother blew up when I asked her gas money. She said that she has none and would pick up my son if the roles were reversed. I'm a single mom, just like her. We each make enough to get by. I just happened to start work later than her. She says that my request is unreasonable and that I should have asked for money up front, not now. Am I wrong for asking for gas money?
Yes.
She says real friends wouldn't ask for gas money. I think that it's a human request right now, like with what we're dealing with.
Shouldn't have said yes.
Maybe sometimes you don't know what you're about to get into, and you instantly say yes out of the kindness of your heart, like I think Melissa did. But then once you get into something, you're like, oh my God, I have the rest of the school year. I think money should always be involved when times are tough, and everybody has fallen on hard times for sure. If they're both single moms,
who are you people
that need money?
If you say yes, serve out the commitment. You don't get to ask. You don't start your job. You don't sign a contract for X amount of dollars and then 3 months later go, hey, I need a whole bunch more money because I didn't realize that my expenses were this. No, you don't. This is simple human planning.
My only hang up with this is that you didn't know where she lived. You didn't realize the backtracking that would happen. That's my only hang up.
Your fault for not doing that research before you said yes. And that might be true, but like I think her heart outweighed the mileage research. Then go with your heart and shut up. I don't understand this. We've gotten into a society where we say yes or we commit to something and they go, I don't think I want to do that anymore because it's not perfect for me. It doesn't matter. It's not about you. It's about these kids getting to school so they're not as stupid as you.
Everyone has the prerogative to change their mind. And
look at this. Trisha is online too, not my Trisha, but another Trisha. She wants to argue this whole point. I want to get her thoughts on this and yours as well, because you're about getting this money, huh?
I'm about making things fair and making somebody feel like they're not doing it in vain.
Can you bring my kid to school? I got to start work a little early. Sure, no problem. Should never be able to turn into, hey, by the way, you owe me a bunch of money because I didn't realize how far I had to drive.
Listen, I watched too much Judge Judy to realize that you will never get yourself into a situation like this without paperwork. Like, you should always have something signed.
Right. Trisha, she's got to get this money up front, right?
No, because think about it. If you live maybe 5 miles from school, oh, no, it's a big deal. Now you're going out of your way. You're spending money on gas, which is 30 cents up from last week. It's going to continue to rise. Or if your vehicle breaks down and you got to rent a vehicle because you got to bring her kids to school, who pays that? You need to compensate them for that. She should be paying them anyways for her time.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I get that, but if you can't afford that, don't do it.
See, but again, all of this goes back to you can't agree to do something and then ask for money later.
I'm not sure why a bus route doesn't hit up their area. That would be a very quick, easy fix.
Misty, could you find yourself ever asking for somebody hey, give me some money after I've already committed to doing this for you?
So my thing is, I agree with you, and I don't think she is back owed any money because they didn't talk about it beforehand. But moving forward, I would almost bring something up where, hey, I didn't realize you lived on the other side of town. This is hard for everyone right now. Can we, moving forward, set up a plan so I can get compensated? And if she doesn't agree to it, then say, then I'm not going to be able to bring your son because it is expensive. But back owed money, probably not. Because like you said, it's kind of hard to ask somebody for something that you didn't predetermine. But I do think she should be compensated. Because
you're going to really leave this kid on the curb, though, if she doesn't want to pay you?
But that's not your child. It's her. It's not your fault. You know what I mean? That she works early. Like Kat said, my son, his bus doesn't come to our side of town either, so I have to bring him every morning. And he goes to school in Sartell. We live in Waite Park. So I have to drive all the way. But everyone has to. That's no one else's fault. It's mine. I choose to send him to Sartell.
The thing is, you'd find something else, right? Parents are resourceful,
exactly.
And if she said no, if Melissa said I can't, I'm sorry, or I can help you out Tuesday and Thursdays, she would have figured it out for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So
100%.
Yeah.
As a mom, you have to do that. We do it every day.
Yeah. You just pivot, right?
Yes.
So I think what we really boil this all down to, Misty, is that I'm correct.
Oh, wow.
Right. That's what I hear you saying, right?
I think there's a mixture of correct answers.
Misty, why is it so difficult for you to just admit that I'm right?
I can't say the R word. I cannot say you are.
I know, it takes a lot. It takes a lot.
You guys are killing me. Have a great morning.
You too, bye.
Take care.
Okay, so texted and said, we had this situation last year. We were asked to help for 2 weeks, which turned into 5. And every day the child was either still eating breakfast or barely dressed. We'd have to wait every day, sometimes 20 minutes. Nah, you be walking like they did back in the 1800s. You walk to school because I'm not going to wait for you.
You can't just leave a kid at the curb, though. You just got to do it.
You can leave them inside their home.
You got to eat the $50 a week. You just have
$50 a week in 2022. Are you crazy?
You got to find a way. You can't just leave a kid on the curb, man. Y'all are some bad human beings if this is the way you want to go.
I don't think anyone would leave a child on the curb.
That's
being
what you're
very
saying.
dramatic.
If you say, I'm not going to take your kid anymore, you're leaving that kid on the curb. Next thing you know.
That wouldn't be my problem. And it really wouldn't keep me up at night because a parent would figure it out.
You are soulless. If Derek is mad, let's say he comes home, he's had a bad day. Is there a phrase that you could use that would guarantee he is set off? Like you can guarantee a fight if you say one thing.
Yeah. And, it's weird because he's suffered from headaches for a long time, you know? And so everyone else has to be quiet when he has a headache, which I'm fine. I don't need my...
You should see the way she's saying this, guys. Her hands are up like everyone else has got to be quiet.
But listen, I'm fine with that. If it's going to make his headache go away faster, I will calmly speak like this. I will not be yelling. Derek talks like George Costanza all the time, screaming 0 to 100 in 2.2 seconds. And so when he is talking, and if I were to have a headache and I do this, you can't see it through the radio, but like turning the volume down on...
Hold the fader down.
If I do that, he'll be like this. Oh, okay. And he gets so mad if I do this and I do this with my face. Like, can you just like turn it down a little bit? I can't even tell you. He goes,
I love having this information.
He goes, I don't know what it is about your fingers doing that, but it just bothers me so badly. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, but it's just me, visually telling you.
In a
shut
not
up.
perfect moment, these are the big things that make people lose their stuff. All right. So for you, in a not perfect moment, you're not feeling great.
Yeah.
And you give him let's turn it down
just a little bit.
But
like
without saying it. You just do the motion. That'll set him off.
Yeah.
My wife is the lucky participant and recipient of number 4 on the list.
Okay.
When she doesn't usually get like boisterous too often. But when it gets to a point, if I say the words, Trisha, you're acting crazy.
Oh, wow.
Snaps. Crazy. I'll show you crazy. Like that happens immediately.
Yeah. Wow.
Avoid saying those words to your significant other. Number 3, if you continue to act like this, there will be consequences.
Uh-huh.
There will be? Good. Let me tell you what the consequences are right now.
Yeah.
Like I remember my dad when I first learned what fight or flight was. And I remember coming home and talking to him about it. And he said, son, you're programmed with way too much of one and not enough of the other, and it's going to hurt you in your life. And I didn't understand what he meant until a little bit later on. Like, if you back me in a corner, you're going to suffer.
You bite.
Like, I am pretty calm on the outside, and I feel like I'm kind of mild in nature. But when pushed into a situation, I'd never turn the other cheek. I just battle.
I know
like
this.
It's so don't ever say, there'll be consequences. Number 2, I'm going to ignore you until you calm down.
See, I need a minute.
Ooh.
I need to step away. And no fight of ours ever, Derek and I, has ever lasted really like 15, 20 minutes long, whatever. But I need to go away. So does Liam. Derek's like, let's go. Let's hammer this out right now. I'm like, leave me alone. Let me cool off. Because if I don't cool off, I say mean things that I don't want to say mean things to people I love.
Number 1 thing you should never, ever say to your significant other when they're angry, never, ever, ever say, you're overreacting or you're being too sensitive.
Oh, my God. That's you. You would totally tell that to somebody.
I say it to people all the time.
Yeah.
I go, you're just being too sensitive. And they look at me like I will shoot you in the face with a bazooka.
Yeah. You can't say that to people anymore.
Now,
because it's making their feelings invalid.
I don't want to necessarily read a bunch of these on the radio, but I would like you just quick, if you could, text us the one word, phrase, or action, like Kat turning down the volume a little bit, that you know would immediately set off your significant other. For me, I say, Trish, you're acting crazy. I'll show you crazy. And then I start going, what did I just do here? Like, this was a bad idea.
I got you,
but
crazy.
Is there one phrase or word or action that you could do that would immediately set your husband, your wife, your significant other off? Now, we were talking just a couple of seconds ago. The word or phrase that would immediately set off your significant other.
Oh, my God. Some of these. You're acting like your mother. You're acting like your father.
My wife will say, she'll go, you're acting like your mother. And I snap.
But in what scenario? Like, why would it be used against you?
When it's being a little over dramatic.
Oh.
My mother had a flair for the drama.
Is that where Tonya got it from?
Well,
okay.
But my mom, it wasn't like a heavy drama. It was a backhanded, subtle drama.
Sure.
Like she would drop in a word or a phrase that would be so backhanded once you thought about it a couple of days later. Like she was a master at that. So that's what my wife does. She'll go, you're acting a lot like your mom right now. And then I go nuclear.
This one, just relax. Don't tell someone to relax.
That's a tough one, too.
If I say a lot of people bring moms and dads into it. If I say you're acting like your father, it's over. Shutting my husband's video game off wouldn't make him too happy. I love this one. Saying anything while clapping my hands.
Oh.
Listen to me. Shut the pantry light off. Use poopery. That would actually be for me.
My daughter, Reagan, I love her so much, but she will do that. Dad, listen right now.
Yeah.
You're not listening to me.
Yes.
You don't have to. You're 19.
Someone said godchild. Or if I say, it must be that time of the month. You have a death wish.
Big are your...
Yeah.
Jeez.
I know.
I can honestly say I've never said that to one.
Someone would die.
I've never said that to one woman my entire life.
That's a good... Let's keep that streak going. Because it would not be good.
If somebody, if I, would you quit?
What are you talking about? You say that to me all the time.
No. You say it to me. You go, hey, guess what time it is? That's how it works around here. You know you do that, and you're nasty.
You are up in the Playhouse with Kat and JJ.
That's the most ratchet thing you do around here, by the way.
Do not ever do that.
Guys, it'll be halfway through a commercial break. She'll go,
shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
And you would think that if somebody just went, it's my time of the month, that would be disgusting. Kat has different color words for the whole thing. Like, it is...
Okay, we got it.
Descriptive beyond...
We got it.
Well-written New York's bestseller book list.
I am a lady.
List.
Can I tell you something and you won't be grossed out?
Doubtful.
I washed my hair yesterday for the first time in 8 days.
What is your problem?
I had no energy to wash my hair.
You didn't have enough energy to wash your hair?
I didn't.
Basic
Do you see how long my hair is?
Basic human bathing took a back seat to your lack of energy?
Almost to my butt. And to wash it and then dry it, it's an hour and a half. And I was so sick. And I was like, I can't bring myself.
So you're telling me you had the
day
day off yesterday. You didn't have to go to work. You didn't have to do anything. You couldn't wash your hair, then just let it dry?
No, I can't do that because then the texture is weird. I have to blow dry.
This is something we need to address because when you started this job, you were full of energy and life and pizzazz and like you
sucked it out of my body.
But now you got nothing. You're on a 3 times a month washing your hair cycle now.
That's not true. No, when I'm sick, then it gets that way. But I probably every 4 days I wash my hair.
That's so nasty.
But it's not.
It is.
Like, it'll look beautiful for 2 days.
The way you
and then it goes in a ponytail, and then it goes in a hat for 2 days, and then I wash.
That's the cycle? When the hat starts smelling, then you have to wash?
Yes.
That's so nasty.
I feel like a new woman today. And don't I sound like it? Like I sound...
You guys.
Ready to go.
2 songs ago, during the song, Kat goes... That's just a weird smell. And I almost said, it smells like you actually got clean.
Yeah.
And I didn't because I was a nice guy.
Thank you.
But it really is.
Well, I shower every single day.
You showered yesterday? No.
Yes, that's why my hair is like this. I washed my hair and dried my hair yesterday. Yesterday.
Yeah, I know. The day before, just shower.
I rinsed off. Yeah.
That's not a shower.
Yes, it is. I rinsed off with
Rinsed
used
off
soap.
is running through the hydrant.
You know what I love is like every word you say, your nostrils get so big because you have to cough.
The hardest part, guys, it's
So funny.
I'm so over my cold, but
Are you?
I am, but it's like my sternum is still broken.
Yeah.
So every time I do like that, it hurts, and I
Sounds
feel
like
like
you're over it.
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend.